Hello, and thank you for joining us today here on Mother's Day. As the only mother on the KSB team, I thought it was really important for me to host today's special Mother's Day giveaway. You know, the Kryptosparbuch team loves to give away Hex, Maxi, whatever we can give away. So, with it being Mother's Day, me being a mother of three, my oldest turning 16 this month, I've had quite a bit of experience celebrating others and being celebrated myself. So I'm excited today to have some beautiful mothers with me. I'm going to bring them on one by one, starting with Redbird. Hi, Redbird. How are you doing today? Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. I'm doing pretty good. We're still on quarantine, the kids and I, so we were hoping that would have been over, but
Yeah. So, how many kids do you have?
I have two. So
Okay.
I have a boy and
And
a girl.
are they about big? Are they with you all the time?
They're right in the middle, and I share custody with their dad. So they are 8 and 12, and a joy, just an absolute joy. It's a really good age.
Mm. That's one of my favorite age groups, right before they turn to teenagers and really just started to pull your hair. So I have a
Yeah.
quick question for you before we bring on one of our other moms. I'd like to know, what is the best or worst gift you've ever been given or given to someone on Mother's Day?
Oh, that's a good one. My best Mother's Day gift was also probably my worst Mother's Day gift, and I don't even have it anymore, which is even more strange. So my first Mother's Day, my ex husband, like took off for like 4 hours and is like, "I'll be back. I'm gonna go get your gift," and I had no freaking idea what it was. And he comes back with a beautiful cobalt blue Le Creuset pot, which is just, it's amazing, right? Like, it's just a big old Dutch oven, like, for cooking roast. I mean, like, it's one of my favorite pieces of kitchen equipment. But I did have to make dinner that night in it. So, first of all, it's Mother's Day, and it was nice, because I was just being, it was, just my oldest, my boy back then. So it was just me and my boy, and just hanging out, the two of us, having a nice little day. But it was a little strange to have him like disappear and come back with something that I could cook us all dinner in. Um, and even more ironic when, as we separated, when I left everything behind, including that pot.
That's
So
not.
I need to go make myself another one.
That's great. That's wonderful. I'm going to bring on our next mom. It is Miss CZ Hexing. Hey, CZ,
Hello.
happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. You too.
How are you doing today?
Very good. Good weather here in Texas, so we're happy.
Yeah, and I think a lot of our audience would be surprised to find out. I know I was surprised to find out not only are you a mom, CZ, but you're a grandmom.
I am to three beautiful baby girls. Well, they're not babies anymore, but they're always going to be my babies.
Oh, of
So
course.
my son is actually 29, and
So wonderful.
look, I got started really, really early. I didn't live my 20s and early 30s like most people did. I'm the
Yeah.
opposite. So if you think, oh my God, CZ is like, woo, it's because now I'm living the life that you guys were living in your 20s. So yes, I was mom all through 20s and early 30s. And now I'm grandma. And being a grandma is great. I don't like to say the word grandma, but it's Nona because I'm Italian. So it's Nona.
Okay.
But it's great because you get to hang out as much as you want and then send them home and still live your life.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a second chance in life to be able to be a grandparent as well. So, being such a young mom and a single mom, raising a boy, now I got three
Mhm.
girls and it's fun. And then I can still be me.
Yeah, absolutely. Do
Yeah.
you have a favorite Mother's Day tradition or a favorite memory that you'd like to share?
Okay. So Mother's Day, it was never a good thing for me. So, but it is now. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I love Mother's Day now. And so our traditions now are basically just barbecue, some food, and hang out and just be a family. Something
Yeah.
simple. Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So we have
Mhm.
one more lady with us today. She is a honorary mommy. Georgia. Hi.
Hi, I am
Happy-
so happy to be here with this lady spending Mother's Day with my Hexican sisters. Thank you, Black Hexican, for doing this, for having us here, and for celebrating something so special, which is motherhood. So thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. When I had this idea to do this stream, it was really because I thought about how I would always spend Mother's Day. I actually come from a long line of women, like of staying alive for a long time. Like my great grandmother was almost 100 years old when she passed away. So at one point
Wow.
in my life, I got to see 5 generations of women in my family, right? My great grandmother, my grandmother, my mom, myself, and my daughter. And so when I think about Mother's Day, it was just always about celebrating all the moms,
You
right? It
got
was
all
never
together
just,
and have like the big family dinner. Is that what you did? Tell us about yourself. You're telling you. I'll tell you about me later on, but you tell us
yeah,
about you.
yeah, that was it. I mean, all throughout my childhood, every Mother's Day, we went to my great grandmother's house, and my grandmother was one of 7 kids. So you could imagine the amount of cousins and aunties, and it was just always a celebration, right? Of how strong and resilient the women are. Like some of them, there were no men attached. Some of them
Mhm.
had happy marriages for 50 years, like my grandmother, but all the women, raised us all. Like it was real community, and that's what I've kind of found in the crypto community because my mother has passed away. My husband's mother has passed away, and it's just not the same feeling that we used to get, growing up, right, with this tight
Yeah.
knit community. And finding you ladies in crypto has been the first time again where I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm bonding over motherhood again, and I'm bonding over being women and being in a space where there's not a lot of us.
You know what? It's incredible how you kind of we forget about that part. We celebrate everything else, but we don't celebrate ourselves. That is
Yeah.
how I feel sometimes. So, Mother's Day for me is not so much as a celebration from everyone else showering me with gifts and things like that, because that doesn't happen in my house. But it's about me saying, "Good girl, you did it. Look what you're doing." So if
Yeah.
you that's a positive part. I try to turn everything into positive. It's crazy, but what are we going to do, concentrate on negative? No, I don't care if the world is coming down. I'm happy. It's just as simple as that. So uh, Mother's Day is very special, and it's something that we should celebrate and congratulate ourselves for whatever we're doing. I have 2 kids. I have Max and Gia. Max it's 13 and Gia is 12. She's going to be 12 next week. And it is hard to have teenagers. I've heard about horror stories, and now I'm like living them. It is a constant fight,
Yeah.
but you know what? It's part of the growing pain. So I'm looking up to people like you guys. Susie, I can't believe you're a grandmother. What?
Right.
What? No. That I can't believe until I see the little 3 girls running around you.
Yeah, that'll happen probably any minute. Just let y'all know.
I know. And Redbird, 8 and 12. My goodness, you have a lot of homework, don't you?
Oh yeah, you and I are right there. Except my 12-year-old, my boy, like bless him, he's like a 12-year-old from the 50s. He's like so Leave It to Beaver. Like it does not
Oh,
have an Instagram post, does not care about his hair yet, isn't interested in girls. Meanwhile, I've got a nephew they're 9 weeks apart, who's like inviting girls to dances, and so it's so funny to see like at that age, like the different personalities, like who's starting to, act like a teenager versus who isn't. My 8-year-old, on the other hand, is already asking me, like, when she can date, and, when she can start wearing makeup. And I'm like, oh, girl, when you're 30.
No, mine is
When
like
you're 30.
25 at least.
Yeah, so we have one more guest here that I want to bring in. Hi, Esther.
Hey. Hey, everyone.
How are you doing today on this fine Mother's Day?
I'm doing real good.
So I spoke with each lady individually, and they just gave us a little bit about their background as far as being a mom. And I know that you are an active mom raising a stepchild. Is that right?
Yeah, he is 11. So I'm right there with y'all, like just holding on to this. He'll be 12 this year. So I'm just holding on to this last precious, like these precious moments before the teenage craziness comes in. And similarly, he's an old soul. So I also feel very fortunate because he's very, I mean, he does he's into the electronics, but not Instagram, like doesn't, same thing, like doesn't really care about his appearance too much yet. And just has a heart of gold. Like he is the most, like, I don't know. I'm like, best description is old soul. Like he just has knowledge beyond his years for sure. So he's a blessing to me. Yeah.
Yes, that is wonderful. I wonder about that age. Are they interested at all? Have they been receptive to what we're talking about when it comes to crypto? Have you guys tried it all?
I have. I have. I kind of put it on the background like all the time, so at least they hear the word and the word will register on their brain. I Max, which is 13 years old, he knows. And one of the ways that I was able to get him interested in this is saying, you know what, if you learn about crypto now, you'll be the smartest kid and you will know more than your friends at school. So if the subject comes up, because it's going to come up, you're going to know more than anyone. So that sparkled, his interest. And he knows about Hex. And now he went to see Doctor Strange 2 yesterday. And he said, Mom, they have Hex in the movie. And I'm like, what? So he has, it is there. He's looking around now. He's more aware of what's going on. He knows about MetaMask. He knows about Richard Hart, of course, Uncle Richard, like I call him. He has knowledge about, the future of crypto. And also Gia, she's kind of like, oh no, I don't want to do that. But then I was like, okay, I'll do the video with you, Mom. So yeah, it's a process. It's hard when you don't have anything around them that has, like education. I'm big time in education, and you come from a background of education, and they don't talk about that at all. So
Yeah,
that's a big issue for me.
yeah. Would anyone else like to share? I'm going to fix my internet connection real quick.
Yeah, I've shared a couple, just recently I shared a couple of videos with him, and I was trying to find the one I sent right now because it's a kid. It's this kid who's probably about his age, like somewhere between 9 and 12. And this kid explains blockchain and all these different crypto things. So I'm trying to get him, interested in seeing, because he has his own little YouTube channel and he does gaming, and he, it's not very not all the time. He's not persistent with it, but he's definitely got that interest. And I think him seeing other kids talk about it and be interested in it, that kind of ignites a little bit of it. The downside is he tells me, he's like, yeah, I asked my mom if I could, if I could have my own crypto and stuff. And she's not into it at all, so she says no. And I'm just like, well, little do you know, buddy, you've already got 2 stakes in your name. So like you've got crypto. It's just in a different wallet right now. Yeah. So I'm going to set him up with his own wallet at some point and do all that. But I'm excited to see him start to really want to learn more about it. And I know it'll take time, but like you're saying, Georgia, if I maybe point out like, hey, you're going to be smarter than all the kids, with this information, like that'll probably spark a light for him. For
I
sure.
tell you, I do it with my kids, and I say, do kids even talk about crypto? Guess when that subject becomes popular among the kids, because it's going to happen,
Oh yeah.
guess what? You're going to be a master. They will be coming to you and you will be the most popular guy in school. And that was like, really? Oh, I know my daughter. Oh, does your mom have crypto? They're like talking about, they don't even know what it is. Does your mom have crypto?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I know where me and my husband are. We really felt that it was important to get our kids involved because our parents aren't around. Not only like my mother, his mother, but our grandparents are, you know, much older in age, and they're not at all interested in learning how crypto works, right? So if we have created financial freedom for them, or even a nest egg for them to live off of, if they don't have the knowledge to be able to access that, if something was to happen to us, then they'd be starting all over, right?
Mhm.
So there's no bank or no middleman that's going to call them, you know, in our untimely passing and say, hey, look, this is the steps you take to get your money recovered. So for us, we had to teach our kids how to know where to find, where that safe place is to find those seed words, how to open up your computer, find, download MetaMask, how to insert those seed words,
Mhm.
and really how to transact. And that to me is a big part of why I wanted to do this stream today, because I know that as ladies, we are growing in crypto. But even myself, sometimes I depend way too much on my husband. Like PulseChain is launching, and I know that they have all these capabilities to where you can yield farm and you can provide liquidity and you can delegate your coins. And I'm like, how much of that do I really know how to do? Or am I just depending on him to do it all for me? And so that's why I asked my next question is, how involved are you guys with your activity of your crypto portfolios? Do you feel confident and ready for PulseChain mainnet launch?
Uh, to the extent that, you know, you've got mainnet launch and then you've got, you know, everything's going to be wacky, right? It's been so anticipated. So I don't worry about time the way I used to. I can be the most impatient thing on the planet. I have not been patient with this COVID that I've got right now, and I've been paying for it. So I had to sit my butt down this weekend and the kids' butts down this weekend when we all tested positive again, as we're trying to get to my daughter's, you know, theater showcase, which she's been working on for 4 months. You know, hard lessons like that. But I do feel like I played around a little bit on testnet. I do feel like there'll be plenty of time with mainnet where it'll be a little bit more sticky for me, when it's a little bit more real. But yes, it's a very active. In fact, that's another reason why I need to like sit my butt down and maybe probably take a day off of work, which I didn't do last week, and get healthy, because I've got, you know, flights booked to see mom and dad, you know, next weekend, exactly for that purpose, you know, so I can sit down with them. My situation is interesting in the sense that I've got SJ's situation where I'm co-parenting with a non-partner. So it's complicated when it comes to discussing finances with the children at this point in time. But I'm also, you know, managing, you know, I'm the designated appointee, for lack of a better description, or the most knowledgeable in the family to help with my parents' legacy. So, and I think that's something that, you know, people in our age group, moms especially, find positions they find themselves in where they're raising kids. And also, you know, fortunately, I don't have to quote unquote take care of my aging parents. They're healthy as all get out. But, you know, there's other aspects to it that can make it real hard for, you know, us to sit down and allow ourselves to, you know, do self-care, be sick, whatever that might be. So I really appreciate you bringing out this time today for us moms to get together. And since I'm in quarantine and all of my Mother's Day plans, even with my neighbors, got canceled, like, thanks for hanging out with me.
So I do have something to say about that too. And again, thank you for having me as well. So I'm still learning. And I know how to do my wallet. I know how to do my seed phrases, but I'm afraid to touch. So I'm afraid I'm going to touch something that I'm not supposed to touch. And that's where I'm at right now. So I depend on my husband a whole lot for that. because I mean, I literally, God forbid, if anything would have happened to him, I know how to get in there. I know how to work it. I know what to do. But especially right now, since we are still test net, I'm so nervous that I'm going to do the wrong thing because I hear stories all the time about people losing stuff because they did something wrong. And that's where I'm at. So I don't have confidence in myself at this point. But I will, and I'm building on that. I'm one of those people too that are hands-on, and that's how I learn the best. So with that being said, I'm still going to keep doing it until I feel comfortable. We're not quite there yet to really make the decision where I'm actually pushing buttons and I'm going to do something wrong. But at the end of the day, I think that I'm going to get there for sure, 100%.
Yeah,
But I
absolutely.
do depend on him 100% on that.
Yeah. Can you all see the screen share at all? No.
I just see us.
Okay. I'm going to try and get that on. CZ saying that really segued into why we are doing the Million Post Tour. Anyways. Oh, the girls are here.
Oh my God, little Cece's. Oh.
They are so cute. I'm telling you, when it's a room full of moms, it doesn't matter what you're talking about. When you come in, the whole conversation
Hi,
just.
is that your son, Cece? Hi, Cece's son. Hi, ladies.
Hi,
How
say
are
hello.
you? So pretty.
Oh,
Look
girls,
at
we're a girl
you.
family. Say hi.
I love your hair. Look,
Say
we
Happy
pulled
Mother's Day. Tell the ladies Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Aw, thank you.
I just melted. Hi, guys. I love your hair. Look, I'm just like you.
And this is my amazing son. Come in here, baby. That's my
Hi.
amazing son.
Get your son first.
Okay. All right.
You have a cool mom, dude. Your mom is awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so just to piggyback off of what CZ was saying, it is really important for us on this tour to make sure that people know how to push the buttons, right? From the very opening steps, from intro to DeFi, where you're like looking at Hex, where you're looking at the basics, where you're looking at getting a hardware wallet, at security, at protection of your seed phrases, and all these things, down to staking, and then actually using PulseX, and then learning about all the other different projects, whether that's gaming or NFTs or whatever it may be. And so when she said that, I was like, oh, this is exactly why we're doing this. Oh, we have another guest. I feel like I gotta call my kids down. We all gotta call the kids down. But no, I have a 4-story like condominium. So I will be screaming to the
What's
top
your
of
name? Sorry.
SJ, do you want to unmute it? There you go.
Oh yeah, so we could just call him D.
Hi,
They're all saying hi.
I know. I heard.
Hi, D.
Yeah, he just got here, so I'm glad that I get part of Mother's Day too. So that means a lot to me. He was with his mom earlier, so.
I made her breakfast in bed.
Oh, how sweet!
Scrambled eggs with toast with strawberry jam in it.
Ooh, that
Nice.
sounds good.
And then I made myself hard-boiled eggs.
I'm telling you, this kid.
Hey, get it. We got some people here in the chat saying Happy Mother's Day, DJ Pauly. Who else we have here in the chat? Susie Q. Hi, Susie.
Hi, Susie.
Hello, Susie.
Happy Mother's Day, Susie.
Hex Freedom, Happy Mother's Day. Hex and more, Happy Mother's Day. So yeah, we have quite a few people in the chat today. 14. That's very exciting for me. This is my first time hosting a chat. So the fact that anybody
you're doing good, girl. You're doing really good.
I'm very happy about that. But yeah, if we could segue back into talking about crypto, I think that that's going to be a huge motivator in getting more women to not only access PulseChain and PulseX, but to feel comfortable with doing it on their own. Is to have somebody there that's willing to guide you through those processes, right? Do you guys feel like sometimes you get lost in the streams and in the words and don't,
Totally.
you know?
Totally. You know what I do? You know what has been helpful for me? That I can always go back. There's great contents, on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and it's amazing. K4K, um, all of the guys, all of the
Yeah.
girls who are out there, and they make it easier. Sometimes I get lost. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes it goes a little bit too technical for me. I need something more like mom's or Georgia style. But
Mm-hmm.
it is amazing. That's a resource that I'm going to if I get stuck doing something. And it's the test net is fairly simple. It's not as complicated as I thought. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like you have to be on top of it, and you have to make sure you don't let all the stuff that you hear out there scared you, because it's user friendly. I think it's very simple, very clean. It's very there's no many things to do. It's just the right amount of things. So I think I'm gonna be able to navigate once Pulse is out there. What confuses me the most is all the projects going on around. So that
Mm-hmm.
is basically my biggest issue, is I can't keep up with everything going on. So and
Yeah, I've had this conversation a few times with different women in my circle, and I've constantly felt like the reason that Hex has brought more women into crypto to me than any other space is really because of the mechanics behind it. Like we like the fact we're busy people, right? Like you said, we just had two different screens with kids coming in. We never know, what's going to happen next, and we have to stay on the move, right? So the idea of buying an asset and locking it up and not thinking about it anymore and coming back to it and it being worth more is very attractive to a mom. But when PulseChain launches, we have to accept and acknowledge that this is a trader's world, right? Like this is, yeah, there will be mechanics where you can stake and you can do, passive things, but you have to learn those things and you have to understand your risk, because each different way of doing things has a variable of risk, because there's going to be so much more trading on this network than what we see in Hex, where the whole principle is longer pays better, bigger pays better.
yeah,
Can
it
I
all
say
depends
something
also.
on that too, real
Sorry.
quick?
Mhm.
Sorry. The one thing that the original question that you were bringing to the table before we
Mhm.
started talking more about, and okay, so I get on spaces a lot, and
Mhm.
I've watched a lot of stream. Some of the stream is kind of like, yes, it's educational. Yes, it's amazing. But spaces for me is where I absorb so much, because you have security Saturday. Like, I learned about the securities of the wallet, how to like really get in there and like know what you're doing security wise. Or the other thing is, there's things that we think we know, but somebody else is teaching it in a way that you can actually understand it. So there's so much on there as well. And if nobody is getting into spaces, I suggest you get into spaces, and there's so much education there. So
Mhm.
just my opinion.
It's a really good forum for asking questions because you get that immediate
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
and there's dialogue there, and you get feedback from variety of people. So if the first time it doesn't click, the second time, I'm a big proponent, or not, I find it to be true that it takes three times for something to really click. Don't know why, it just does. Don't know if it's just me, doesn't seem to be. So I've enjoyed spaces for that as well.
Yeah.
But mostly I just hop on planes. Just, it gives me an excuse. Dad, I don't understand this, and I want to see you guys anyway, so I'm going to hop on a plane. Or you're going to hop on one here.
Georgia, what do you think?
Yes. I was saying that, I can't remember what I was saying. That's the mind of a mom. I can't remember what I was thinking. I was like, yeah, I'm going to hop on a plane. That's the last thing I remember. Short-term memory, guys.
Right. So I think it's the last question that I proposed is the difference between Hex and PulseChain. Hex kind of having those mechanics that draw women in because of its time lock.
I remember now. I remember. I was like I always say, I was looking for a way out of all the stuff that comes my way. I don't know if I explain myself. They tell you go to do a 401k, do a IRA, which I don't. I'm doing all of that, but I don't understand very much. I understand the moment they explain it, and then I forget. So I have all this money in different places. And when I go back, I see you lost X amount, percent of your money because of the changes on the stock market. I don't want that. I want something that I put away and it will keep its value and grow. And that's when I heard about Hex. I was like, this is what I was looking for. I want a savings account from my kids where I can put something and it will not lose its value. Well, my saving account, it's on the blockchain. And my money, if I put $5 in Hex, yes, it might be go up and down with the years, but I know that at the end of that stake, the kids are going to have more than I put in. And that's all that matters to me at this point. Yes, there's other things that I discover that I want to do, and it's easy and it's simple. It's like the modern way of giving the kids, like the grandparents used to give the kids the bonds, the government bonds, or they used to give like the card with $100 or $5. Guess what? I'm going to turn around and get all the gift cards. I have a bag with gift cards, and every gift card had like 5, 10, 20, $100 in there. Ask me, I open a bank account, but ask me how much money I put in that bank account from that money. Zero. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. I get a gift card with money. Oh, I'll take care of it. Don't worry. I'll put it away for you. I'll put it in my wallet and that money's gone. So that's what, I'm sorry, my kids are going to be looking at this 20 years from now. It's like, that's where my money went. Yeah. So now I tell them I grab money, put it on Hex, put it away. As simple as that. And I won't be able to touch it. And it's protecting my kids from myself. And that's it's the greatest thing that I can do for them.
Yeah. So to me, that kind of brings up the topic of Maxi, because to me, that could be possibly an easier way to onboard people into Hex, an easier way to explain staking. Maybe not an easier way to explain it, but at least a way to get them in it, right, from the very beginning. Because I know I've had to onboard into Hex, into crypto, period, right? The idea of digital assets. And now that they have these digital assets and they see them and they're like, okay, I have this many coins. Now to lock them up is like another hurdle that they have to jump over. Like, oh, I don't know if I never want access to it. I want to be able to sell, if price runs up or anything like that. And so now Maxi, it's like hopping into Hex that is in a stake, and you still have that flexibility of when do I want to sell it.
I do like that idea, because that was one of the things I woke up like probably a month ago. I woke up and I'm like, I don't have a short game at all. And like, that's not a good practice to have. It means that I'm, when I see gains, I'm going to do exactly what I don't want to do. I'm going to take more profits that I really want to take from something. And I'm like, this isn't smart. So, and then the timing was perfect because that's when, tools like Hedron and Maxi came out. And I felt like I had opportunities to lock things away, plan for that, that end goal, take care of my long-term goals, but be, in a decent position to take care of any short-term needs. I mean, we're in a macroeconomic change that could seriously impact my industry. That's something I need to think about. My parents aren't young and I'm very close to them. I would want to be there if they needed me. That's another thing to think about. I mean, there's a variety of reasons where I might just like one day look up and be like, nope, I'm out, and I'm going to do it too soon because I'm going to have to do it with things that are long because I didn't have a short game. So in comes Maxi, in comes things like Hedron, and I was like, oh my gosh, your timing is perfect, thank you. So I agree with you on that one, and I love what you guys are doing with the tour. These full day workshops are so key to be able to just have people sit down and work it. You can't. I'm a hands-on person. Like I remember once I got a quote on my window regulator and my Jeep broke and they wanted like $400 for something. It was $100 part that, Google told me I could do in an hour. Of course it took me 2. But I did it. So I was pregnant with my first at the time and I was like, I'm not spending $400 on that. There's a stroller I want, Shout out to Hex Nurse. I've been there. So, anyway.
Have you thought about, I think it's very important to include Hex and now PulseChain and crypto into the schools. Have you thought about putting something together simple for kids? And when you do the tour, when you're local, just reaching out to the local schools and maybe giving a presentation. There's like, at least my kids' school are always asking for parents who can share, what they do and how they do it and things like that. So that's something I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm 100% knowledgeable or ready yet to start doing that. Eventually, I will probably do. I don't know. But I think we need to include this in the education. And they're not listening there, so we have to take actions. I tell you, I go to every PTA meeting and I talk about that. And the school is funny because I have my email, and every time I receive an email from the school, which is not like automatic, it's the parents are talking on this. I have like buy Hex PulseChain, like out of the office, I put a message. So I'm getting the message out there. So are you guys thinking about doing something like that for kids, for younger generations?
I have not spent a lot of time focusing on curriculum for kids, just because they are not making their own money yet. And so for me, my focus would be on rewarding them for their fundamentals, their regular educational requirements through maybe stakes or something like that, as opposed to coming right in with teaching them about cryptocurrency. For me, not only am I focusing on college students because they are working, and believe it or not, they have a lot of disposable income or income that they choose to spend poorly sometimes, right?
Yep.
They could be spending in other ways. I think about my freshman, sophomore year getting refund checks. You would get financial aid and you could take this loan for a larger amount. And I remember one year I bought rims. Yeah. With the money I'm supposed to pay my rent with. Right? I bought rims for my new Honda Civic. And I think about had I had this knowledge then and said, hey, I know I'm going to be in school at least 4 years. You have $5,000 of, in your mind, what you're going to have to pay back plus interest, but in your mind is just free money, right? What if you take just 20% of that, 1,000 of it, stake that to when you're supposed to finish school, 4 years, and then you use the rest of that to live off of and do that kind of thing. I'm pretty sure that 1,000 would have covered all that ridiculous spending that I did in those early years. And I just don't think that they have that information present. So I'm really focused on college students. And then my oldest child is in high school, and for them, it's all about being viral, pranks, and making fun of each other, doing all that kind of stuff. And so she had came up with this cool idea that we couldn't do last year on the tour because the Ethereum fees were just so expensive. But I'm hoping PulseChain will save us. Doing this like challenge where you go around school and you say, hey, can I hit you with this sticker, or can I put this sticker on you for free money, or essentially, or whatever. And then she would like smack stickers on boys and turn this into a whole like litter the kids and stickers to make these viral videos. But for every sticker we give you like $1 in Pulse or something like that. And these ideas, whatever ideas kids come up with, I'm willing to support. The problem is we need to be able to easily do these transactions. And a transaction that's just for fun can't be about a $200 spend in the process. So
Yeah.
that's something about PulseChain that I think will allow us to open up the possibilities of how we onboard.
Yeah, it's important to take care of the Hex generation, like I call it.
Mhm.
It's I posted something yesterday, and I was thinking, boomers, millenniums, what's next? And I was like, duh, Hexicans. So we have
Yeah.
the next generation. So
The Hexikids.
yep.
There's a quick point I wanted to make. In fact, we were on the Vibra Finance stream, and I thought of this, and I was like, oh, I should share this on the mom's stream, because when I was originally getting into all of this, I was thinking to myself, I have to set myself up for my retirement, and I want to make sure that I'm good and like I'm going to be taken care of.
Mhm.
What Hex allowed me to do is that, and then some. Like the generational wealth aspect of that, like, because now I feel like, oh, not only am I going to be set, like my whole family is going to be set because of this. Like, thank you, Richard Hart. It just is mind boggling, the benefits of this, and like everything we have to look forward to, and being able to have stakes for D. Like, I mean, that's like the coolest thing, that not only am I set, like, we're going to be wealthy and healthy and wise. And, that's something that I get to instill in him, and he gets to see this happen, as he's growing
Yeah.
as well. And then, once he is making his own money, he'll be able to do what he wants in terms of, staking and making it, stake and chill.
True.
Yeah, I love that. The other day, Richard Hart's like, post your flex. And I'm like, it's that peace of mind that I'm not going to be worrying about my own retirement. I'm not going to be worrying about the kids in college anymore. That's just it. Nothing in my day to day has changed, except that having that off my brain changes everything. It changes everything. Like what I'm able to put my brain power into now, that I'm not putting it into that anymore. Like we were talking about SJ on your stream. Now that I'm not, worrying about fires and my forest burning down, like where I can put all the energy that used to, go into saving the trees, I can now put it into expansion and other things. And it's really been a life changer.
Absolutely. So while I still have everyone here, I want to announce this giveaway that we are doing. The KSB team, the KSB team loves to just celebrate the community by giving back to the community. And what better a day for me to give away something free than on Mother's Day, being the only mom on the tour crew. And so from our onboarding account, we are going to be giving away 555.5 maxi.
Ooh.
Nice.
Put that on the screen. Oh, did I not do that right? Yes. And so
Amazing.
it is open to anybody. I would love to be able to say that it's 100% going to go to the first mom, but there are rules. It will be the first picture of a mom and her children. So even if you're the dad, you can still win this for her. I would hope that you would make sure she gets this maxi. But the first mom or dad to tag both me, I go by Black Hexicans, or on Twitter, it's just being Black, it's BLAKC, and the KSB TV. Let's put both of those up. Tag me, tag KSB TV1 in a picture of the mom and their kids with a sign that says, "We're gladiators." Everyone, if you know Maxi, you know that once you have some Maxi, you are considered a gladiator. And we want to try to create a new gladiator today. If you will take a picture, just make a sign saying "We're gladiators" with you and your little one. The first person to tag both me and KSB TV in this post, we will send you 555.5 Maxi today.
I'll be back. I don't have any Maxi, guys. I don't even know how to get it.
Yes, all of us will go on screen really quick. Sorry.
Right, everybody, all the moms immediately. As a special thank you for you ladies being here with us today, we would like to give each one of you a Million Post Tour ticket to the city of your choice, because it is important for us, for the moms and the women in general, to be able to push the buttons for themselves.
Thank you.
Come on our
Thank you
website,
so much.
look at what city is available, and then you guys just email us and we will get you registered. We really appreciate you guys coming and being a part of our Mother's Day stream today. I love you guys all. If there's anything else that you guys would like to say to the audience, then feel free to do that.
Well, I would like to say happy Mother's Day to the moms that are not on here, because I know we have tons of them. So I hope you're having a great day, ladies.
Absolutely. And of course, I've got to shout out Mom 19. Love you. Can't wait to see you next weekend. Mwah.
All right. Well, I appreciate all of you guys for being here
Thank
today.
you again, Black Hexican. Love it.
Thank you.
And
Not
thank
going to hold you guys any longer.
guys.
I'm going to go to brunch and enjoy the rest of the day. And I hope you all do the same thing. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Much love.